What's going on YouTube? My name is ginj-tcg or Chris, and today I am back with a deck that was requested by someone in the comments a bit ago that I've honestly wanted to check out for a bit. I think this was the first time I really had like a good day to give it a whirl, and it is a Palkia VSTAR deck. So thank you Waldie, I believe it was, in the comments from about a week ago or so on the Oink Alone video, so much for the list. I did change it a little bit from the list that was originally commented, but for the most part, it is pretty much still the same. This deck revolves around Palkia VSTAR, which has the amazing Star Portal ability, which you can use once per game, to put 3 water energy from discard pile onto really any water Pokemon you want. And the deck has almost entirely water Pokemon, which is really nice, so you can use really anyone as an attacker. Subspace Swell is a legit attack that I think does pretty well at the moment, and most of the time I feel like Star Portals, for me, usually go to Palkia just because 60 plus 20 damage for every bench Pokemon in play caps out at 260, which is really nice and KOs or 2-shots a lot of Pokemon at the moment. Other attackers it could go on are Articuno, which can paralyze your opponent's active Pokemon, or Radiant Greninja for Moonlight Shuriken to snipe 2 bench Pokemon, whether those are Comfeys, Curlias, just small things like that. Maybe it's like Dreepies or Charmanders against those types of decks, before they could get Manaphy down. Also, an underrated attacker with a useful ability, Iron Bundle, which is a change I made to the deck because I love this card. I hate playing against it. I love playing it. It's just kind of one of those. The Hyper Blower ability is like a budget escape rope because that did rotate out, a while ago in the last rotation, so now it's like we just kind of force a different Pokemon into the active spot, which is really nice ability to have in the back pocket. Also, Refrigerated Steam is a super underrated attack right now because it says if the defending Pokemon is an evolution Pokemon, it can't attack during your opponent's next turn. So if that's a Regidrago V-Star or Dragapult or Charizard, it can't attack unless it leaves the active spot and a different Pokemon comes into the active spot, or they re-get that Pokemon there. So that could be super annoying for your opponent to work around. And we're also playing Iron Valiant EX with the Tachyon Bits ability. We can just kind of ping damage counters elsewhere. And honestly, we play a bunch of Switch in the deck. We're playing 4 Switch cards, 4 Switch, and 1 Future Booster Energy Capsule for the Iron Valiants. So getting 1 in play, maybe 2, and just kind of, pivoting in and out of it is a really nice way to build up extra damage to swing harder with Palkia V-Star's attack, or I guess really anyone in the deck. We also have Mew, which is our only draw engine. Also, Genome Hacking is just a super fun attack to use in certain scenarios, as well as Bloodmoon Ursaluna for just a nice late game sweep. Past that, the list is very straightforward, which I was absolutely in love with when I saw it in the comments. It's a very well put together list that plays for consistency, and you could tell because they're playing 3 or 4 of almost every single thing here. We've got 5 Gust cards actually, between 3 Boss's Orders, 1 Counter Catcher, and 1 Prime Catcher. We're gonna kind of try to just pick and choose what we KO and make this game go as fast as possible with a deck like this, as well as 4 Boss, 3 Iono to draw through our deck, and 3 Arven to search for any tools we may need. EXP share is a really big part of this deck. I can't emphasize that enough. 2 is absolutely crucial. I would even consider maybe playing a 3rd if you just want more energy floating around, because after Star Portal, Subspace Swell is the attack. After Star Portal, we have no energy acceleration for the rest of the game. That being said, most of our attackers, with the exception of maybe Iron Bundle in the late game or Greninja in the late game, most of our main attackers need only 2 energy, so 1 EXP share plus 1 manual attachment is a really good way to stay ahead on energy acceleration. But I think 2 is plenty. Devolution can really help as well, because if you're doing good damage on one Pokemon and you're just loading up Tachyon Bits onto another evolution type Pokemon, you could use Devolution to take a cheeky 2 to 3 prize cards, which is a really nice and underrated way to use that card in a pretty bulky deck like this. Overall, I think this deck was a ton of fun to play, and seriously, thank you so much, Waldie, for giving me this list to play. If you guys have any decks you want me to play, you can join my Discord down below. You can message me on Twitter, which is also down below, or get in touch with me really anyway. I've got a whole bunch of things in the description down below for you guys to reach out to me and let me know if there are any decks you want to play, or just the comments. That also works too. I try to read and respond to every single comment, and I think I've done a pretty decent job of getting to all the comments when I've got a free second. And I really make it a point to try to build and connect with you guys. So if you guys want to see me play a deck, please let me know. I promise I will get to it at some point. That being said, let's see how Palkia VSTAR can do. I can't wait to see you guys in these 3 games. Let's see if we can get a positive record with Palkia VSTAR. Welcome to match number 1, where we open up with what looks like an awful hand, but honestly we'll make it work, and we chose to go first, and I think this deck definitely prefers to do that. We need Palkia to evolve, to use Star Portal, and also it just gives us an extra turn, I mean, to get more energy and play with just use. Okay, now someone needs to shuffle my deck better. I mean, how is this my starting hand? Playing as Lugia, though, that'll be a fun match for sure. Honestly, I kind of like it. So we're going to have to get rid of 2 energy, maybe even 3 energy here, which is a little rough, but we'll make it work as long as Greninja isn't prized, and we're good. Okay, we should... So Articuno is going to be big this matchup, and probably just heavy Palkia past that. I don't know what else I'm entirely looking for. Prime Catcher's good. We have 4 energy left in the deck, 2 in hand, about to put 1 more in discard. We're in a decent spot. I mean, I kind of like where we're going into next turn, but we'll see. Never mind. Who shuffled this deck? I'm drawing into just the same of every card. Oh, that's brutal. So I'm actually gonna hold this energy because there's a good chance I'm gonna have to use concealed cards next turn to try to draw into a slightly better hand. I was hoping I would draw into literally any other supporter. And then I would just attach this energy to Palkia and play the supporter next turn to make sure I get going. But I drew into 2 EXP shares, so that's awesome and completely not helpful. So, you know, we'll see what our opponent does here. And they play Iona, which honestly I'm okay with as long as we somehow get Palkia VSTAR into play this turn. And we have a pretty solid hand. I definitely want to play 1 Iron Valiant because Palkia caps out at 260 damage, so we need at least 1 Tachyon Bits onto Lugia VSTAR to still OHKO it, which is manageable, and they get a whole bunch of Minchinos into play. Okay, what do I want to do from here? I'm not entirely sure. I think, okay, we want to play the Iron Valiant, definitely. What are the chances I could get another switch? Because I could switch into Iron Valiant and research and hope I get another switch. We play so many gusting cards, I'm not afraid of discarding a boss here. And, you know, there's a chance I could go for a snipe attack on 2 Minchinos. So, you know what, actually, I kind of like that play. Let's ping the Lugia here. So we're going to switch into Iron Valiant. We're going to drop 20 damage here because I think that'll help us going forward. I'm going to play the Vessel. Doesn't really matter what I discard. I plan on using Arven this turn anyways. I'm going to take 2 energy because I am going to use concealed cards to draw 2 more before I play research and just kind of help me dig further. And that's solid. That's actually, that's amazing. Oh, sweet. Okay, so we're going to Ultra Ball these guys away. I'm still, I think, set on the research play here just to make sure we're drawing through our deck as well as we can. I'm going to play the 1 energy on my Palkia for now. Because I think if we want to use Greninja as an attacker, we essentially have to do it this turn. Because once they evolve a couple of these, it's going to be out of Greninja range. So I'll probably put all 3 energy. Oh my gosh, we did not whiff the switch. Oh, that's so bad. We play so many switch cards. I thought for sure I would draw into Future Booster Capsule or a switch. We drew into none of those. So that's great. Alright, what could I do here? So we could play Articuno down. And I think we could get rid of 1 more boss's orders. And maybe I just try to get Mew, and maybe my next card will be a switch. So let's do that. Let's take Mew here. I'm just going to burn the Nest Ball. I'm going to use Mew's ability and draw 1 card and pray it's a switch. And if not, I'm in a really tough spot. It's not. Oh, jeez. Okay. Yeah, so this is bad. This is really bad whiffing that. I guess we could just Star Portal. I'm so scared they have the KO. Oh, we can't even put them on Iron Valiant. That's right. Okay, so we'll have to just kind of hang out with Iron Valiant in the active. Hope we can dodge a KO here. And maybe they drew into a rough hand. So we'll just put our energy here and pass. They don't have any Archeops in discard pile yet, but they do have a fresh hand to start, and I wouldn't be shocked if they have Research or Carmine, plus a pretty solid hand here after that Iono. So we'll see how our opponent responds. Whiffing that switch, it was devastating. And, I mean, we played effectively 9 switch outs for that Valiant, and we had only played 1. So there still should have been 8 left. So that's a brutal way to go. And they get Ultra Ball here. They don't get an Archeops with that discard, so I'm curious to see if they have some sort of big supporter in their hand, and of course they do. So this is going to be difficult to work around if we're jumping back from 2 prize cards. However, it could totally be manageable, especially if they don't evolve all these Minchinos. I'll totally just take 2 prizes this turn with Greninja, assuming that is we can even get an energy. But they're not playing much here, so I'm curious what our opponent's going to do. Maybe they're thinking about using Summoning Star and taking 1 Archeops, but if we boss up that Archeops, they're going to be cooked as well, and we can make a solid comeback. So maybe they're just going to hang tight and take another turn, which will give us plenty of time to jump ahead. And Beach Court is solid. I'm super cool at Beach Court, because we can take out that Minchino on the bench. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a big, big whiff for our opponent there. I'm just going to Iono now. Not going to play, not going to bother trying to go Ultra Ball or anything crazy. I kind of liked our hand, and this is solid. So we got Palkia here. I really like the EXP share here, and I'm trying to think if I want to ping anything else with Iron Valiant. I don't think I want to yet. I think I'd... Oh, we did whiff 1 energy. So you know what I could do? I could switch into Mew. That wouldn't totally get me there. Alright, maybe we just have to take a KO with Palkia. And this hurts. This definitely hurts. We were in a really sticky spot. We kind of needed Vessel there. We really didn't have much energy to draw into, but that's okay. I'm pretty comfortable just swinging with Palkia this turn. And we'll see. This might be more of an uphill battle, just because we had a rougher time getting going, but that's all right. I was hoping we could draw into an energy there, and I would have switched into Greninja and sniped 2 Minchinos, specifically the one with 2 energy attached. That would have, I think, devastated our opponent, and, I mean, sealed us a pretty straightforward way to run through the rest of the game. But, you know, we'll settle for a subspace well. We'll take a 1 KO and a Minchino, which is never bad. I mean, Minchino can definitely one-shot us. And there's the Chinchino, so that's good for our opponent. I'm sure they'll get a KO here. Although if they do it with just 1 R... Oh, they're going to boss. Wait, what are they bossing up? Mew? Actually, I'm super cool with that. That's fine. As long as we keep our attacking Pokemon in play, like with energy, like Palkia, and honestly, I don't even hate Greninja here. Like, that's super cool. So, oh, you know what I could do? There's actually a decent chance I could pull off a decent Greninja to play this turn, and I'm going to try it. So, I'm going to promote Articuno, use my free retreat with Beach Court into Iron Valiant. Oh, we get a Rod here. We only have 1 energy, though, so I don't want to use that yet. I'm going to use our free retreat with Iron Valiant, and then I'm going to ping this active Chinchino, and I'm going to see if I can get 2 KOs with this now that Chinchino has 90 damage. And I'll hold the TM Devolution. That could be big for later. I'll switch into Greninja full sends only. I don't know how many energy we have left in the deck. It's definitely not much, but I'm going to give it a shot and see if I could get, you know, either an energy or a Vessel. Both will be absolutely massive for us, and we get pretty much everything we're going to need, so that's sweet. So we could attach the energy here. I am slightly unsure where to put this EXP share. I definitely want to get it down. I think I'm just going to play it on the Articuno here. Yeah, I think I like it on the Articuno the most. That's fine. And we can Moonlight Shuriken and take 2 prize cards, and now we are in a phenomenal spot. Our opponent still only has 1 Archeops in play. They've only got 1 Lugia down. They've got a pretty big hand. There's a good chance, I'm sure, they could get 2 Archeops in play now, but we've taken 2 massive prize cards and gotten rid of 3 of their Minchinos, which is really the best thing we could have asked for. Because that's, I believe, the only thing that could one-shot Palkia in this deck. Unless they play Wordier, which this list might. If they're playing 3 Minchino, there's a good chance they're playing just all normal Pokemon. And that's something we should worry about. But 5 energy are also in discard, so that's not bad for us as well. We'll see. They got 8 cards in hand. I would be shocked if this hand is more or less a bit unplayable. And they just Iono, so that's fine. I mean, that big a hand going to the bottom of their deck, there had to be some good cards that they just couldn't use. So hopefully that can save us a little bit. And capturing Aroma isn't Ultra Ball, and that's not even a heads for another Archeops, so I'm cool with that too. Not super worried about what's going on right now. I think depending on how the board state changes, I'll probably just retreat Greninja here, maybe even concealed cards, because we'll have 4 energy in the deck, and that's good time for a Rod. So, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what they do. A 4th Minccino goes down. We could take out another Minccino if we need to. I'm totally cool with that. We could play Articuno, actually. Depending if they get all their jet energy down, they could be really big for us. They haven't played any. Alright. That's a little scary. Although it doesn't seem like they've got much else in their hand. So, if our opponent just passes here, they're going to be in danger. They're going to be in big, big danger. I mean, yes, we are in total top deck mode except for 1 concealed cards. I don't want to get rid of any more energy after this concealed cards because we're going to be running really low. But that's cool. That is alright. And we get a nest ball here. So, we could take Bloodmoon Ursaluna. I don't hate it, just getting it on the board for later. It is a prize liability, or it's pretty easy to stall that Pokemon up, but we play so many switch cards, and we have 2 in hand. So I think I'm cool with that, and I'm just going to concealed cards here, and try to draw into just some other supporter. That's pretty nice, actually. I don't know if that's going to be huge for anything right now, but I could hold on to it for next turn, because I don't think we need anything. I guess we could go Prime Catcher and KO Minccino, because that is the only Pokemon they could use to one-shot us. And you know what? Honestly, I kind of like that. Let's go for that. Let's take a Prime Catcher here, and I'll take a Devolution and just hold on to it. There's no real need to play it. I'm going to play Prime Catcher, because this is the only Pokemon that can really one-shot us. So if I could put 4 Mincinos in the discard pile, I mean, I'll trade, attacks with Palkia VSTAR. I think that'll go way more in our favor than our opponent's. And now we're ahead 2 prize cards, and our opponent has an awful board state, whereas we're ready to rumble. We got all the switch cards we need. We don't have really anything in terms of energy. That being said, we do have 2 EXP share. So if this Palkia dies, we'll just need to dig out maybe 1 other energy card and Rod or something like that to attack with another Palkia. Maybe we could just use Ursaluna at this point. That's not a bad shout actually at all. So we'll see. I mean, they definitely are getting their 2 Archeops now. Good for our opponent. I think that's definitely needed right now. And they are playing the Legacy Energy build with Wellspring Mask Ogerpon. So that's pretty solid. They could take some pretty fun prize cards using that as well, because they could totally take a big KO on our Articuno and maybe clean up a Pokemon. Like, they could clean up our active with Lugia if they fully set up Lugia. I don't know. I mean, our top deck is going to be kind of huge here. Our top deck is going to be huge for sure. Maybe it might have been smarter to just swing into Lugia, but I'm just so scared of Chinchinos. I mean, the ability for that tiny little rat to just OHKO 2 prizers so easily is not something I felt like dealing with. And I'm much more confident trading 2 shots with the Lugia. Especially when we have Wild Freeze Articuno ready to rumble. Because there's a chance our opponent doesn't get Jet Energy in hand. They'll only accelerate it from Archeops, which means that they won't get the effect of Jet Energy. So, that's kind of what I'm praying for here, as well as another energy. I mean, we've got 3 in play, we've got 4 in discard, so that's 7, and we play 9. So I think we've got 2 in the deck left still. And how are our supporters looking? We've got no Iono left, 1 Boss, 1 Arven, 2 Research. So we do have a pretty good amount of supporters, and our Vessel's gone too, so that hurts a little bit as well. Because if we got like our last Arven, we could search for Vessel, but I already used it, so that's not an option at this point. But that's alright, that's alright. I do legitimately like where we're sitting a lot. Maybe there wasn't the biggest need to concealed cards last turn, but it's cool. I like the idea of just digging a little deeper, especially when our hand is a little rough and we lost Mew EX. So we don't really have any sort of consistent draw engine. And our opponent plays all their energy down from the first Archeops onto Ogerpon, which is interesting. Because if they don't attack with Lugia this turn, they're going to be in trouble. Like, a lot of trouble. They need 2 DTs on the active to retreat with it, which would be their last 2 DTs in the deck. So that's also really good for us. I'm curious where they put these energy. Honestly, them Using that first Archeops onto Ogerpon was not really what I expected, like, at all. And if we could get our other boss, that'd be really good too. Because if I could kill this guy now and just win the game with Palkia, I mean, that would be a pretty easy way to do it, wouldn't it? But I don't know if luck will be on our side like that, especially with our starting hand. I mean, our starting hand was all types of unshuffled. We pretty much just showed the deck preview in the starting hand, said, hey, here's 4 of, like, all the cards I play. And they failed. Wait, what? Oh, no, they didn't fail it. Oh, they just loaded up. Wait, that's so weird. Interesting. Our opponent just chose to load energy up onto this Ogerpon, which isn't totally what I expected. I could switch into... I mean, let's see. So if they KO... So I'll still need 1 energy to attack with Bloodmoon Ursaluna. I think I like the switch play and just trying to ping some more damage. I don't know. You know what? Let's just load our damage on Lugia. I don't know how well it's going to work out for us, but that's fine. That's alright. We'll play Lugia back, and we're swinging for 220. Oh my god, we are 20 damage short. But that's actually perfect for us, because I think we just got game in hand at that point. Yeah, we got game in hand. Okay, so if they don't pick that Lugia up off the board, we promote literally anyone and switch or retreat and use their own beach court to put 20 damage with this Iron Valiant or this Iron Valiant if they somehow like gust KO, our bench one, and just put 20 damage on Lugia and win. So I think unless they play hand disruption, we got game, and there's really nothing they could do about it. I mean, we could also just attack with our active if they don't kill our active this turn, or they retreat / switch into Ogerpon. So yeah, I think like no matter what, if we don't see a hand disruption supporter, we're chilling. So I like that. I mean, definitely a solid game. The Palkia VSTAR has been a phenomenal deck for so insanely long. It's actually crazy. Honestly, like since it came out, this card has been used in so many high tier decks. But I think at the moment, it's definitely way more rogue. You don't really hear anyone talk about or play just straight Palkia lists. Which is interesting. I mean, I think looking at a deck like this, I mean, we're up against Lugia. That is one of the best decks I think in the format right now. Definitely not S tier in my opinion, but I think you would be crazy if you don't have it at tier 1. And we are doing really fine against it right now. Like we are 100% holding our own. And remember, our opponent had a rough start, but so did we. We both, like my opponent and I, whiffed a couple turns where both of us should have been attacking. So, 2 players fighting out of 2 bricks, we fought out of it way better than they did. And I think that speaks to Palkia's power at the moment. I mean, it's a legit deck. Maybe an option for Baltimore. I'm not 100% certain, but our opponent's going to scoop there, giving us the dub in match number 1. Let's see if we can guarantee a positive record and take the chip in match number 2. To match number 2, where our opponent is definitely playing Dragapult EX, if I've ever seen a Dragapult deck, and we are in a slightly rougher spot with our starting hand. Although, you know what, if we could get Palkia down now and Greninja down next turn, that's fine. You know what, honestly, we've got a pretty good hand. I really shouldn't say anything like too bad about it right now. I think we have a really solid hand going into our next turn, especially if our opponent whiffs a Manaphy. So that's pretty solid for sure. Alright, yeah, let's pass here. There's nothing else we gotta do. Next turn, we need 2 to 3 energy and discard, Palkia Evolution, and Radiant Greninja, and we can devastate our opponent's setup. If we can snipe Natsu and Dreepy next turn, yo, we could cook. That being said, we're a little short. Actually, you know what? Getting Nest Ball down now is amazing because we will get Greninja and an energy in discard. So that is perfect for us. And let's see what we could get off concealed cards. Palkia VSTAR is solid. Iron Bundle, kinda loving it. I will totally bench that. That could actually be big this matchup because if we could use that to swing into a Dragapult, we could be feeling pretty good. So let's see. I don't necessarily want to switch into any Pokemon. I'd rather just research first and see what we get because I like Mew's free retreat pivot. I think that's just way easier for us to use. more effectively. And yeah, it's going to seem like we're in a bit of a rougher spot here. I'm not sure how much we could thin the hand. We could Ultra Ball away another energy. Or attach the energy. How many energy are in discard? 1. Okay, so you know what I think is probably just an all-around safer play? Attach this to Palkia, save Radiant Greninja for maybe next turn. They need more Dreepies and Natus down, so you know what? That's fine. And how much are we swinging for? I mean, we could retreat into Palkia and C. Swinging for 180. So you know what I actually like? I kind of like Hyper Blower here, and if they give us Rotom, I'm just going to Ultra Ball now and take another... Oh, no, but then we'll discard this Pokemon. So that wouldn't be 2 Pokemon. Alright, you know what? That's fine. We could just swing into Alakazam. That's cool. That's a good single prizer to get off the board now. So I think that's a solid turn. I think Greninja would have been the best turn there. But maybe, something to think about with this deck is squeezing more energy in here. I just don't know what you would cut. I mean, it's hard to get a lot of energy in play. Maybe you could take out... I don't know. Maybe you could take out like Counter Catcher or something like that and put in like a 10th energy card. That might feel pretty nice. I think overall that would probably be more worth it and worth the shout. But this turn we can guarantee the Greninja attack actually, which would be really, really cool. I don't know. Man, alright, because I was going to Arven for Earthen Vessel and then use Greninja to discard 1 energy, use Ultra Ball to discard the other, big Star Portal, big switch, and we kind of whiff it off this. So, that happens. But, oh, they give us they promote our Iron Bundle, and if they just instant charge here again, that's cool. That's alright. I ain't scared of that. Buddy Puff, and I'm sure we're going to see some more Dreepies come down, and Manaphy. Oh, that ruins it all. Now we're not sniping the bench. Alright, well, it was a fun idea while it was on the board, and now it's not as good a shout. They are going to Earthen Vessel. I'm curious actually to see who they evolve this turn, because I'm probably just going to Prime Catcher that Pokemon up. And I'll leave Rotom on the board for now. That's just an easy 2-prize liability for later in the game. So I'm sure we'll see another... We see Dragapult. I thought maybe we'd see a Draglock come into play. Okay. You know what? I'm actually pretty comfortable just swinging into Dragapult here and putting that on the clock in terms of getting damage out. I don't really want to Iono, and I'm really scared to lose our only rod. Like, that's not something I really want to see. But you know what? If we're super safe about our energy, and we still have Star Portal, I think it might be worth it. And we just research here, because we kind of need to dig in our deck a little bit more. So let's do that. We're going to bid our only rod. That does really hurt. I think it's just a necessity at this point, though. And I definitely want to play the Nest Ball. I 100% want another Palkia out. Articuno isn't a bad look either. I think I might do it later in the game, though. So let's just conceal the cards for now, get rid of this energy. Remember, we still got Star Portal, so I'm totally comfortable getting rid of up to 3 energy and discard right now. And that's fine. Definitely a bit of a rougher hand going into our next couple turns, but we have Boss's Orders. So we could kind of just gust up whoever we need. And we're 2-shotting our opponent's only Dragapult EX in play, and they've yet to get any essential energy onto it. I know they have the Fire in their hand, however, I'm not sure they have another Psychic in their hand. So that could be big for us. That could be really, really big for us. And we'll see what they do. Sorry for the cut. Our opponent played a Boss's Orders. I'm sure it was a solid attempt to... Yep, just stall up a Palkia. However, we are playing an ungodly amount of Switch, so that's not going to be too bad for us to get out of. I'm going to hold the Switch and play the Switch cart, because I might need to get rid of more... Like, I might need to switch out of my Palkia VSTAR later. And I think just holding the Switch to guarantee that might be better than the healing. I'm not 100% certain, but for now, I really like that. And let's just... They can't KO my Palkia this turn, I don't think, at all. So let's just Subspace Swell. They're not playing the Charizard build, they're playing the Natsu build. So I'm not worried about my Palkia getting return KO'd, nor do they have any Charmanders in play for that. Earthen Vessel off the prizes is so nice. I'm hesitant because soon we're going to have to Star Portal. But, I mean, we got 2 energy in discard. Honestly, I'll Earthen Vessel, concealed cards, and I'll Star Portal right now and just try to set up my energy for the rest of the game. Never mind. Our opponent's going to Iono. putting us at a 3-card hand, but now we're in the territory where we could get some big Mew EX plays. And we get our own Iono. So, actually, you know what? I like this a lot. I think what I'm going to go for, Ultra Ball away Switch and our top deck, and Mew for 2, then Iono ourselves. And that could be a really solid play. And they're going to Super Rod here. Okay, makes sense, makes sense. Sadly, our 2 bosses' orders are on the bottom of the deck, so we're not... Oh, we'll reshuffle, but we won't be able to use it because we're going to Iono. Oh my gosh, that's actually a phenomenal top deck for us. Let's concealed cards first. I just want to make sure I use that. Let me double check. There's 2 energy in discard. Okay, good. I don't want any extra energy in discard because our only rod is gone. So that's good to keep track of. I don't know if I want to play Iron Valiant. That's a huge liability if it just gets boss KO'd. I really don't want to deal with that. We could ping attackers. I don't think we're going to have enough switches to do that consistently enough where it'll matter. I'd rather just kind of revolve around our Palkias this game. So I definitely want to get a second Palkia VSTAR into play. And then Iono, put our opponent down just 1 more card. Maybe I should have mewed there for 1, but it's cool. I'll hopefully get some more cards I could use this turn. And this is a good way to do it. I can Nest Ball. Should I keep the Switch? Probably. I'm just going to Nest Ball. And I don't necessarily want anyone yet. So I'm just going to fail it and draw 1 with Mew and then Star Portal. And probably just put 2 more energy in play on Palkia plus an energy. Actually, that's amazing. I think... Yeah, honestly, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to attach this energy to Iron Bond. Yeah, let's attach to Iron Bundle. I like this. And then we're going to Star Portal. We're going to put 2 energy on Palkia. And 1 energy on Greninja so we could retreat if needed. Actually, you know what? Iron Bundle attack could be pretty tight. I'll put it on Greninja, though. I'll put it on Greninja. And we will swing for the KO on a Rotom. So we only need 1 prize card left against a Dragapult EX deck. We have been abusing our Pokemon, their setup this turn. And we haven't let them get any Dragapults in play, which is the goal. I mean, we are playing an insanely high amount of boss for this reason. We really don't want these big evolution decks to get multiple Dragapults, or if you're playing against Charizard, get multiple Charizards in play. So you're just trying to get rid of everything you can as fast as possible. And unless they get a Dragapult EX into play this turn, our opponent will just lose because Palkia will swing for massive damage right now on any of these little guys. So they're going to need Rare Candy and Dragapult EX in their hand. And Iono puts him at a new 6, so it's still definitely possible, but we have such a big lead where, what, a Prime Catcher or boss? We've used Prime Catcher, we're a boss away from winning. So, solid. Love to see it. Our opponent just scooped, so they didn't get it. That's going to be 2-0, guaranteeing the positive record with Waldie's plus my tweaks Palkia VSTAR's deck. I am absolutely loving this list. Let's see if we can make it a perfect record for the first time in a little bit in match number 3. To match number 3, where we open up with a really interesting hand, and we're going first. So their Dragon Sleeves might be a Raging Bolt deck. I'm just going to give them the basic, try to put them on an odd price early. Raging Bolt is definitely one of the hardest matchups for this deck, and it's a Lost Tina deck. Oh gosh, yeah, that could be definitely difficult for sure too. But they are going second, so I'm going to play Palkia. I'm going to thin my deck just a little bit more. I don't hate taking another Palkia, honestly. Just because we'll need to evolve them, and the sooner I can do it, the better. I definitely want to concealed cards here. If I can go for a Greninja next turn, I definitely want to. Also, let me preface by saying, because I haven't really said anything about it yet, the reason I have just told, I definitely have I tried my best to mention Waldie everywhere I could. I don't want to mention the full name, just because the person's YouTube, channel name or whatever seemed like it was their full name, like first and last name, and I didn't know if they were comfortable with me saying that on a video. So let me use this time right now to say, if you want to give me a list and your username is something like your full name, please tell me if I could say it on a video. I don't want to say your full name on a video that's going out to the public and then make you uncomfortable, because a bunch of people will be seeing that and hearing your name. And I know, like, for some people that could be totally something they don't want, and that's okay. So if you are giving me a deck and, you know, your username is whatever, or you want me to reference you by something, or literally just say your name, like you don't care, please just tell me that, because I'd rather err on the side of caution and just, you know, give this person as much credit as I can without, like, literally just, like, doxing them and saying their whole name out there, and just try to keep it as, like, polite as possible. So, you know, just something to keep in mind for the future. But seriously, thank you so much, Waldie, for sending me this list. It's been a ton of fun to play. And I'm really hoping we could cook a Tina deck in this game right here. And they lose Tina VSTAR, countercapture basic Psychic Energy into Lost Zone, which is massive for us. And like all Lost Box decks, they're usually hurting when we Iona them to smaller hands. I'm going to put EXP Share, honestly, on Greninja. If I could use Greninja a couple times this game, actually, I think we'll be in a really good spot. And I could Arven for Earthen Vessel, but it won't guarantee me much. I'd rather just Iono here. Our opponent's setting up a little bit slower. I don't mind setting up a little bit slower. And they're down what? Psychic and Grass Energy? Yeah, okay. That's good to know. So let's concealed cards here. Definitely want to in discard pile. We didn't get a Palkia VSTAR, which hurts a little bit. Oh, we're so close. We're so close. Okay. You know what? Let's hold the hand. It's crazy. I know. I don't want to play the energy because I kind of want to concealed cards next turn. Because we have an amazing hand going into next turn. Yeah, I'm just going to pass. They got 3 in Lost Zone. They could take out Greninja. That would hurt a bit. But they would need 7. So they need... Colress is 2, this Comfey's 3, and they would need another Comfey, which they just Lost Zoned 1, to get 7, and I'd be very scared of a Mirage Gate and them using Giratina V this turn, or V-Star. But if they use the V-Star, I mean, if they use Star Requiem on a Radiant Greninja, word, I'm not complaining. And if they use Lost Impact on a Radiant Greninja, that's 2 energy Lost Zoned for a little ninja frog, and that's also cool with me. So, you know, we're gonna see. They're definitely, this Colress hurts them. Whatever they're getting rid of, I know it's bad. Another Colress, yeah. Alright, they were staring at that for too long. I knew that thing was gonna hurt, and they're at 6. So they get Manaphy down. Greninja's a little less epic now, which is okay. That's cool. That's another benched Pokemon, which helps Palkia, so I'm not complaining yet. And Nest Ball, I'm sure we'll see a Comfey here. I feel like would make the most sense. Yup, okay. Alright. Not bad. Greninja, man, that Manaphy definitely hurts, but their bench is really limited. And if they don't evolve this Giratina V this turn, I'm going to go Prime Catcher and try my hardest to KO this thing. And they get rid of a Giratina. That's interesting, because I feel like they really want 2 down in this matchup. But they're not going to get it, and they are going for Mirage Gate. But again, if you kill my Greninja here, that's cool. It did everything I needed to. You know, got a Manaphy in play, which is just going to be a Pokemon stuck on their bench pretty much forever. And if they kill it, I am totally fine with letting it sit in discard for the rest of the game. We don't play Canceling Cologne, which, you know, that could actually be another fun idea. Maybe instead of Counter Catcher in this deck, maybe you want to put a 10th Energy or Canceling Cologne there. Because right now, I mean, let's say, like, I don't know, like this boss was Canceling Cologne, right? You Prime Catcher and do your thing, get rid of their energy, and they're just going to shred, I think, which is great. Don't evolve. Please don't evolve. Because if they don't, we're taking some big KOs here on their Tina V, which is massive. They'll have no more Tinas in play at the moment, so it'll buy us another turn or 2 from a Giratina V-Star scene play. And I'm not scared of many of the other attackers in this deck, so let's just promote Mew for now. It's got a free retreat. I could totally save Prime Catcher here. I think that works fine for us. And Ultra Ball is great because I could Star Portal. So let's do that. Let's Ultra Ball away, Water Energy, and I'll do Research. I just like the heavy hand disruption against Lost Zone decks. I've been doing it for so long, I don't see in changing the way I've played against it at this point. I think it works decently well. And let's Iono here, see what we could draw into. And, you know, I've got the free retreat pivot. I just really want more Pokemon in play to KO this Tina. And that can totally do it. So let's retreat here now. I just want to see how much damage I'd currently be doing. 180. So we need 2 more Pokemon, which we got on the dot. So that is amazing right there. Let's... You know what? Let's take Articuno. I haven't shown off this Articuno yet this video. Please don't sleep on that as an attacker. It is phenomenal. But it hasn't been the call for the matchups I've been up against right now. And that's alright. There's nothing wrong with that at all. However, we are going to get our Palkia set up and ready to rumble and KO our opponent's only Giratina V in play, which again will put us in a really good spot. We're only up 1 prize card, but our board state is much more developed, and I think overall just in a way better spot than our opponents. With those prize cards, it's really good, actually. I'm just going to Ultra Ball away top deck and Palkia V, probably, and get another Palkia VSTAR in play. We're going to rock this match with 2 Palkias. I don't think we need more than that. So, who are they taking off Nest Ball? If it's another Giratina V, easiest boss of my life. I am running over that thing, no questions asked. So, Temple of Sinnoh, another card we really don't have to worry about because we're not playing any special energies. They get a Sableye down, which could hurt. That could KO either of these guys and do some really good damage onto Mew. So, I almost want to save my boss's orders for another Giratina V, but we have so much Gust left in the deck. And I have Arven, so I could just take Prime Catcher next turn. I think I'll just chase Sableye down if they don't do much here. And they've only got 8. Wait, buddy. You don't have 10 in the Lost Zone. You can't use Lost Mine. Oh, that hurts. Uh-oh. I don't know if they've realized that yet. Lost Mine, you need 10 cards in the Lost Zone. And they don't have that. Oh, no. No, wait. They messed up a little. Are they just going to retreat into... Oh, that hurts so much. I actually feel kind of bad for that. Oh, man. I'm alright with them killing my Iron Bundle. It's a nice card to have. We've got enough Gust at this point. I think we'll be fine without it. If I really need it back, I can just rod it back. But I think we'll be alright. Do I want to play Iron Valiant? I'm not sure. I don't think I do. We have another one in the deck. If I need it later, I need it later. But I don't have an insane amount of switch cards in my hand, so I don't think there's anything I need to ping that I'm super worried about. So we're just going to evolve this guy here. And okay, they play a lot of switch. So maybe Articuno might not be the play. We could attach the energy here. And then use Mew's ability for 1. See what we get. I'm curious. Switch card. That's kind of nice, actually. We could just hold on to that. I like our hand. I like where we're sitting. I also really like the idea of getting an EXP share into play for Mew, because we'll still have a boss's orders. I could take Prime Catcher and chase Sableye now. I'm way less scared of Cram than I am Sableye. So you know what? Let's do that, actually. Let's go Prime Catcher. Let's go EXP share. And what I'm thinking about the EXP share with this Mew EX, if we can copy Tina's Lost Impact, that'd be crazy. That'd be an insane way to one-shot a Giratina V, and I think it's a good shout. So, you know, we're just going to abuse our free retreat here, take a big KO with Palkia, swinging for 220 still, which is really good numbers, because that's Giratina V HP, and we're going to take a prize card. So, again, solid spot, and we get another Arven. Oh, that is phenomenal. That is a perfect prize card for next turn. Our opponent has 2 Comfies. They could totally get the 10. However, we did take out a Sableye, and they're down a lot of energy. They're down what? How many energy in here? 1 Psychic, 1 Jet. So they're down 3 Psychic, 2 Water, 2 Grass, and 1 Jet energy unless they play a Rod. Honestly, they might not have many Psychic energy left to even use Giratina V's or V-Star's attacks. They might have 1. Roxanne's cool. We got Mew. We could draw 1 card. We'll get out of this. We will get out of this. And they also chose to get rid of a Giratina V. Oh my god. Wait, no, we just got boss? Oh no. That's actually insane. I mean, I'm curious, if our opponent puts down any other Pokemon that's a bigger threat than Cramorant, it's getting bossed. And if they want to just keep attacking with Cramorant, I'm fine with that. I mean, they're 3-shotting Palkias, and that is totally okay with me. I'm not too worried about that right there. So, you know, I think, again, we're looking good going into this 3rd game, which is nice. I mean, you know, playing a deck like this, again, just Hyper Gust. You just want to pull up and KO the biggest threats on the board as fast as possible. And a good thing to remember is sometimes the threats are not always the attackers. In a deck like this, yes, you want to boss KO the Tinas and stuff like that, but maybe Against some decks, you want to take B-Barrel or Pidgeot because they're going to use that to set up everything for the rest of the game. And if you could KO that with an Iron Valiant plus Palkia attack, I think that's really, really worth a shot. And they're going to Jet Energy Cramorant up, but it's not going to work because they played their own Temple of Sinnoh. Oh, buddy, no. No, not like this. That hurts. The Mirage Gate to Retreat goes crazy. That's a wild play. Definitely rough for our opponent. I am just going to boss Tina V up here. I think we're swinging for KO. Let me double check. If not, we got the Pokemon we need. Yeah, we are. So I'm not even going to bench that Pokemon. I'm going to put this energy... Gosh, I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? I'm just going to put it on Articuno, I guess. Let's try to get our energy just ready to rumble no matter where they are. And let's swing 220, take 2 prize cards. We're down to 1, so that is... I don't know if they can make a decent comeback against this type of setup. They Roxanne us into Gust, but we play a lot of Gust for this reason. Actually, wait, I think I misplayed. I think I forgot to use Mew EX's ability. So... it's a little rough, but it's alright. Yeah, they scoop. Wow, that's an awesome, awesome, awesome 3 games with Palkia VSTAR. Seriously, shout out to Waldie for giving me this list. If you guys have any lists or decks you want me to play, please put them in the description below, message them to me on Twitter, or join my Discord. Hang out with my friends and I. We're really trying to grow that Discord community and just get more in touch with you guys. And so far, it's been a blast to do so. And I will be posting a lot of like the channel news and stuff there about the stuff I have planned in the future. And trust me, it's a lot right now. We're cooking up a few things. So thank you so much for tuning in the video. If you made it this far, for real, thank you guys so much. You don't know how much that really means to me. I hope you guys have an absolutely epic day. I will see you guys later. Peace.